And someone across the way is playing La Vie en Rose. It is the French way of saying, I am looking at the world through rose-colored glasses.
So David and I went straight from the airport to a walking tour in Montmartre. This is a former artist village where Van Gogh, Dali, Picasso used to live. And on this walking tour, we tried a bunch of wine, cheese. It was just like the best way to start off our trip in Paris. I learned on this tour that France has 1,200 varieties of cheese, and one even has maggots inside of it. Montmartre is a really charming area with like the cutest cafes, bakeries, really retro bars, and here we got a view from the highest point in Paris. After this, we walked straight to the Eiffel Tower, which doesn't need an introduction. It was really surreal seeing it in real life after seeing it so many times through the internet and photos. We went to a restaurant right by the Eiffel Tower to try escargots for the first time.
Really?
Wow. This was so chewy. I just wanted a tiny little piece, but I couldn't even bite it off. Like, ew. I honestly don't recommend eating right by the Eiffel Tower. There's so many tourist traps. Like, this onion soup was like, I didn't finish it. It was not good at all. Like, I've had better in Toronto. To finish off our first day in Paris, we took a night boat tour on the Seine River to see iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame. David and I were literally sleeping on this boat tour since we did so much that day and traveled.
Now we're eating Monsieur Coquette, and it has ham and cheese and then melted cheese on top with a bunch of butter. It was good.
Anyone who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Marie Antoinette, so it's only natural we went to the palace. Being in Marie Antoinette's room was the absolute highlight of my entire Paris trip. I'm getting emotional even just looking back at these videos, but everything was just so stunning. The details were immaculate, and it felt really special just being somewhere with so much history. If you take a close look at this shot, you see a secret door in her room that actually led to her private apartments. This is where she first hid during the People's March in Versailles during the 1789 French Revolution. The videos can never do justice to just how grand and beautiful Versailles was. I'm so grateful and happy we took the time to go there. We finished the day off by going to Bowman's Cafe, where I had an actual really good French onion soup, rosemary flaming steak, and we had a bunch of wine. It was a really good night. We had a lot of good conversation, and this whole day was actually just like the real highlight of my trip. We just stumbled on this place, but the food was so good, and you can tell it's where the locals actually went to go eat. Something I found really interesting is in the old trains in Paris, you actually have to open the door for yourself. Like, it doesn't automatically just open for you. We went to the restaurant that first invented the cookie, which is a croissant and cookie meshed together. And wow, this was incredible. The cookie was like half baked, which made it so gooey. Oh my god, so good. The way me and David pushed our way into that crowd to get a shot of the Mona Lisa was actually insane. So I just had to document the crowd and how crazy it was. This museum was really iconic for me, just due to the scale of the art pieces. This took up an entire room. We went to Paris about 2 months before the Olympics started, so we saw them practicing for some sort of ceremony with all the horses. There was hundreds of them. We tried an alcoholic beverage called absinthe, which was thought to cause hallucinations, which is why it was banned before in France.